Kelly Vedi. She's a new member of Winter Park Toastmasters, and she'll be delivering her icebreaker speech today. Since joining Toastmasters, she's had several people ask her why she decided to join. She'll be answering that question in her speech today. Please welcome, for her icebreaker so you don't ding her, Toastmaster Kelly Vedi.
I have a confession to make. I like public speaking. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've always liked public speaking. I gave my first speech in the 3rd grade, an informative speech on the history of my favorite holiday, Halloween. And in 5th grade, I won my school's speech competition with a persuasive speech on the importance of community service. Now in districts, I lost to a 4th grader with a humorous speech about how to write a speech. I thought it was a little cliche, but the judges ate it up. 24 years isn't too long to hold a grudge, is it? No. The point is, if I'm not here at Toastmasters to get over a fear of public speaking, why did I decide to join? The truth is, I'm here to beat you.
There you go.
That's right. I'm here for the competition.
Welcome.
Some of the most fun I've had in my life is going up against worthy opponents at an activity that I enjoy, like bananagrams. Does anybody here play bananagrams? All right. It's basically Scrabble without the board. It's a fast, frenetic word game. And my favorite bananagrams opponent was my roommate when I lived in North Carolina. Her name was Louise. We were both math teachers at the time, and after we finished grading homework, we'd clear it off the table, spill out the bananagrams tiles, and go at it for hours. I moved away to Boston for grad school, and I left my bananagrams opponent behind. But I did get to see her a few years later when one of our mutual friends was getting married. So I showed up to the wedding. It was a beautiful outdoor venue outside of Portland, and much to my delight, I saw Louise standing next to a life-sized version of bananagrams. So instead of these tiny little tiles, there were these big, like foot-by-foot tiles spread out on the lawn. And so there I was, my hair was perfectly curled, I had on this cute little green mini dress. I didn't care. The hair went up, and Louise and I started running frantically around the lawn, trying to see who could build out more words out of these huge tiles, working up a sweat. It was amazing. I loved feeling that thrill of competition again. And I feel that same thrill going up against all of you at Table Topics. I remember one of my first Table Topics when I actually got runner-up. And I went home and I ran to tell my husband because I was so proud. And he said, "Who beat you?" It was Colette with a perfect, poised Table Topics response. I wanted to win so badly, and I still do. So I'm determined to come back here week after week until I can beat each and every one of you at Table Topics. Especially you, Will. You remind me of that 4th grader. So that's it. That's why I'm here. I'm here to win. At the same time, I'd also really like to be friends. You see, I need some new friends. Since 2020, I've had 3 amazing, wonderful life changes that at the same time have made me feel more and more isolated. First in 2020, my husband and I moved back to Florida from California. We're both from here, so we moved back. It was great being closer to family. We could afford to buy a house. Lots of wonderful things about the move. But I left my friends behind in California, including my best friend, Adam, who I miss dearly. Second, I got a new job, but not just any job. I got my dream job. I started working for a think tank up in DC on youth apprenticeship. I loved what I was doing. I loved my smart, passionate new coworkers, but I was working remotely, and I only got to see those coworkers in person a few times a year. And third, most importantly, in 2022, I had my daughter, Layla, and I went on 3 months of maternity leave. So there I was, no close friends nearby, no coworkers, and those 3 months were some of the hardest of my life. The sleepless nights, the hours breastfeeding, the general stress of being a new parent and not knowing what I was doing, they all combined to leave me feeling angry and despondent and isolated. I remember one particularly bad day breaking down in sobs against my husband's chest, telling him that I hated it here. Moving was a mistake, and I'd never felt more alone in my life. But I wasn't alone. I had my husband, I had my in-laws right here, and with their help, I got through it. My mat leave ended, I got back to work. Layla started sleeping through the night. I got back up on my feet. But I still hadn't had time to go out there and make new friends. Until a few months ago, one Friday morning, I went into my closet, pulled out a professional dress that I hadn't worn in years, drove down here, walked through those doors, and found all of you. Aww. I have one more confession. When I came here, I wasn't nervous about public speaking, but I was a little nervous about the making friends part. Growing up, I had a hard time connecting with people. Social skills didn't come naturally to me. Unlike my father, who's a natural-born salesman and can turn a stranger into a friend in under 5 minutes flat. When he saw his awkward, bookish teenage daughter struggling to make friends, he gave me the Dale Carnegie classic, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And Dale Carnegie has this advice: you win more friends by being interested than by trying to be interesting. What I like here at Toastmasters is that in this room, we're encouraged to be both. We compete with one another by doing our best to connect with one another. We seek victory by being willing to share our vulnerabilities. And we stand up here behind this lectern alone, but we're also standing in the middle of a welcoming community, a community I'm so grateful I found. So when will I beat Colette at table topics? Not to start a fracas, but I don't know. When will I win my first trophy? Today. But when will I make new friends? I feel like I already have. So thank you for having me. I'll see you all next week for a rematch.
Thank you.